And I believe this is Bill Waterhouse joining. It just says Bill. I think it's Bill Waterhouse, but you might want to confirm. It could be Bill Mellett too. It's
Okay.
audio. I think it is Bill Waterhouse.
Yeah, he can't confirm because he doesn't
Right.
have audio.
Yep. Okay.
welcome, Bill. Welcome everybody. So let's open up the workshop at 1 o'clock. Okay, let's see. I have the agenda right in front of me here. There we go. Well, first of all, we want to open up the award for the sewer treatment computer system. We only got one bid, it appears, and we should open up that now and decide if we want to award this contract or not. So if Judy can open it up and share the screen with us, that would be great.
I'm going to have to do it this way because I have to use my computer and it takes over my controls of my iPad. But here's your letter. It's the one. Oh, sealed again.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. How about this? If you wait just a second, I don't know if you guys have access to your emails as well. I'll go email it to you as well as hold it up. And I'll try to share my screen. It's from Lavalette Controls. Debate just for the initial work for the SCADA, whatever controls, Scott,
Right.
77,900. And then if you want to add additional items like the pH analyzer and the influent, that's an additional 10,000. And the chlorine analyzer is an additional 20,000, bringing it up to $107,900.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to get this up for you guys.
I mean, that's not
Okay.
totally unreasonable. I spent 60,000 on the one for my little wastewater system. So I think they got that's a pretty good deal. I think
Well,
we
I
should
would-
talk to Kathy about the pH analyzer and the other thing before we say yes.
Yes,
Right.
that was going to be my suggestion. To just talk to Kathy to see if we need the add-ons.
The pH
the
is pretty
addendum.
easy to test. It only takes a second, so she may not
pH
want to
and
bother.
chlorine.
Yeah, they're both easy to test for, and that may be why she didn't put that in the initial bid, because she didn't think it was necessary. So let's ask her what she thinks, but.
1 second. I'm just gonna see if it. Yeah, I don't have access to. I don't have access to my email on there, so. Hold on.
Just hold it. Just hold it up.
Hold it
If
up.
you log on to the computer, it's going to kick you off the iPad.
I was gonna email it to you guys so you could see it as
Oh.
well.
Yeah, why don't you email
Okay.
it quick? That'd be great. It is what it is, kind of, I think.
We
Yeah.
only have
Yeah,
one bid. This gentleman is the one that does our work at the sewer treatment, most of our work. He's very familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the name and the work, actually.
We
Yeah,
u-
I
we
almost
use-
think he,
we use
oops,
them here
sorry.
too. I'm
oh,
sorry.
you do?
Yeah.
I think, doesn't he do something with our telemetry or something too, or is that a different person did?
I think that's a different person, but he does
okay.
like our pH controls, and we have a pH monitor, and he does all those controls for us. He did not do the control panel for us, but he does all the peripherals for it.
Okay, so can you guys see? Am I too close, too far? That's the first page.
I'm just gonna open it up on my computer.
I don't know if Bill can see me or not, so I'm not really sure.
Yep.
This is the second page.
So the total for the control is 67,900. And then those other things you talked about.
Right here, see this?
He's estimating $10,000 for the electrical work.
Gotcha. Okay, yep. So the total project is 77,900.
Yep.
And then if
Yep.
we wanted the analyzers, it would be another 30,000.
Yes, and then this is also in there, he gives you this, the specs on the controls. The next page is just specs,
Okay.
and then there's a fourth page right there.
I don't know. I think we should vote for the bid as is and put the other things on hold till we talk to Kathy, and maybe if we think it's not, if we don't need them right now, maybe we add one thing a year or something like that, if she really thinks they would help. But right now, I think to just okay, the base bid of what we've got might be the way to go. I don't know what-
Is that a motion,
I mean-
Scott?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right.
okay, and you guys have this, so I will contact Mike, you and have him talk with Kathy and get a hold of Lavalette.
I
Okay.
think it's the way to go. And I just lost your, okay. Next, we wanted to talk, now that we're, I guess on the workshop here, we talked about as we wind down this COVID situation, we hope. Cheryl wanted to talk about the library reopening guidelines, town meetings and live meetings.
Yeah. So I've been talking with Judy and just trying to start to put a plan together. As far as the town buildings is kind of do a staging process. We're thinking that so starting April 1st, we'll kind of go back to how we were this past summer, where people can enter the building with their masks and with all of that. And then as we get into summer, and sometime May or June, we're looking really at June 1st, because by June, everybody that's allowed to have a vaccine is technically, they should be vaccinated. And so we could go back to hopefully operating as we used to. But then with the library, I was looking to talk to you guys, if you don't mind me reaching out to the librarian and the trustees and just kind of work with them to make sure they're covering the protocols and the guidelines, so we can get them hopefully open for this summer also.
Well,
Sounds good.
ultimately, it should be their decision. They're the ones that have to,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can go with their recommendations, and we'll end up being the ones that make the final decision, but let's feel them out, see how they're doing and how they
Yeah.
feel about it. And
Well, I know they're eager. They've been eager to when they can open and how they can open. So I don't think opening is going to be a problem. We just want to make sure that the right guidelines and protocols and safety measures are in place.
And
I
maybe
would think.
shoot for June 1st for them as well, maybe.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And,
agree.
and that will mean, that she can bring back her part-time staff and,
Right.
correct? Yep.
Yep.
Correct.
Now,
Yep, her part-time staff has been vaccinated, correct? Oh, you can't technically ask that. So never mind.
Right. When you say staging process, go back to when we were in April with masks. So you want us, they still have to social distance? So
I
you're
think it's
saying,
going to depend on what the guidelines are at the time. They're
well, this is for
changing-
April. Okay.
Well, I mean, they're changing every few weeks right now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think we need to look at, see what it is.
Just
mid-
stick with the universal guidelines.
Yeah, we'll stick with
Right.
whatever they are at the
So
time.
if-
I imagine it's still going to be masked.
mass social distancing, which means we'll bring one person in at a time, let them go out. Do we have to take their temperature still?
When I was looking over the universal guidelines this morning, we have to scan employee temperatures still.
But
I would recommend it right now.
okay. So temps.
We're
We'll-
still
we'll
kind of
go-
in that zone.
Okay. All right. And then we'll look by May and June to go to the next
Right.
The next step.
phase of, okay.
And then, which then brings us into, hopefully by June 1st, we can transition into live meetings again. With obviously masks and social distancing.
I mean, that's assuming he lowers the social distancing. Because we've
Right.
always said it was not practical to have a live meeting with 6-foot distancing.
We can't do it if he has, well, we could, but it would be, you'd have to turn people away.
There'd
If
be
he
five
lowers-
people, 4 or 5 people
Yeah.
period in the meeting.
I think we need to maybe wait on that one and see if he lowers it to 3 feet, or like it sounds like they're in the schools and stuff.
Right.
But I think until he lowers the social distancing thing, we can't really have a live meeting. So,
So watch
Not
the,
practically, no.
no,
I didn't think of that. I was thinking that if we masked and,
I think it's still social. I mean, we don't know they're gonna change the rules to by June 1st. But I think we need to hold on to what we've been doing. Otherwise, we look kind of hypocritical too. You know, all of a sudden 6-foot distancing doesn't matter anymore. So, I mean,
Well, no, we would have that in place also in the conference room. And we're talking about doing a hybrid model where
well, if we did
we can-
hybrid and people couldn't get in, then they could still go on there.
they could still go
But
on a Zoom.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
we have to check on the rules and regulations to that though, because remember, that's why we didn't do this the last time. Because there was something specific and I can't remember exactly that if we could only fit 4 people in there and they didn't have access to Zoom. Remember, it was something?
Anyway, I think that's a good goal, maybe to go hybrid by June 1st, right? We'll see
I
what's
do.
going on. But
So
I
we
think
gotta look at
we have the
equipment.
equipment.
Well,
We do have the equipment.
no,
We have a camera in there. We're gonna have to purchase a microphone.
Right.
But I think we have some methods. We're gonna research it. I'm gonna research it
Right.
and see. If anything, we definitely I would like to see us continue with the recordings. We've put the work into getting the channel on YouTube set up for people to go back and watch the meetings. I think that's important. They feel connected, they're engaged
Mhm.
that way. So
people like it, yeah.
And I think maybe, you know, as we go forward, if we keep them hybrid, you know, forever might be the way to go too. So, I don't know.
Right. We're gonna ask too, once the governor lifts his orders and guidelines, can people participate hybrid or virtual? We're not sure that they would be able to, but they'd definitely be able to listen in live.
It sounds like what I've heard is that as long as everybody can hear what everyone else is saying,
Mhm.
then it's probably going to be okay. But I don't know. I'm not the lawyer, but that's the way I understand it. But it has to be that's why we need the right equipment to make sure that all our voices are clear, all their voices are clear and that type of thing. So,
Right.
So if that does happen and we do reconvene with the meetings in live or hybrid, we'll have to request for the PD to move out of the conference room by the 1st of June also, as
yeah.
they're using that as office space right now. So we'll cross that bridge as we get closer. And then Judy and I were talking, and Cheryl too, about a lot of the residents have enjoyed having appointments, a set time to come into the town hall to do their stuff, so that they didn't have to come and wait or, they could get right in and get right back out to go to work or whatever. And so we were thinking about maybe putting a survey out to residents to see if we should continue with just appointments, if we should balance it and do, we can have set appointments in the morning and then the afternoons it's open, or just do that and not survey the people. I don't, I'm open to thoughts, ideas, suggestions.
I don't know if a survey would accomplish a lot. You're gonna hear from a few people. And I think maybe your idea of doing it, say in the morning by appointments or in the afternoon, walk in or something like that might be the way to go. Although you're gonna have trouble turning someone away that shows up in the morning without an appointment.
Right.
So I mean, it's a challenge, I think, whichever way you go.
I do too. But, I just don't know what to do with it because so many people
Well, maybe what we do is
have
we
like
say,
it now, but then you have that other side of the coin where people just like the free reign to walk in.
right. Well, maybe you make it so that, we try to say that we're going to do appointments in the morning or the afternoon, whatever. And
Uh-huh.
if someone happens to walk in, you deal with it.
They can just wait.
They wait that, until you have a gap when you don't have an
Right.
appointment. So, and not be militant about it. That's would be my
Right.
opinion. So try to
I
make it,
mean,
make sure everybody knows it's by appointment in the morning or whatever you decide in the afternoon, and that the other time is walk-in. And you
it
take.
doesn't really matter to us. We're willing to do whatever
Mm.
whatever they want, the residents want. It doesn't matter to us either way. So we're open to whatever.
Okay. Well, we got some time still to figure that out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we could talk to our folks that handle our Microsoft products there, the Microsoft 365. I think there's a feature to create a scheduling system through the Microsoft 365 that maybe we could have something online where somebody can,
I'm sure.
8:00 at night, they might say, oh gosh, I'd like to
Right.
register my car in the morning. If they could go on the website, our website, and just make their appointment, then it would be there for you guys when you got there in the morning.
Yeah. And there's some communities that are utilizing something like that, an online appointment-based system. And
There's definitely
love
something out there. I don't know if it's Microsoft or whatever. I'm definitely
I'm
not
not sure either.
I'm not the computer guy. So.
Yeah. No, there is.
I mean, we're totally fine with whatever direction they want us to go or you want us to go.
Well, no,
Right.
I mean, COVID certainly has given us an opportunity to adapt our business models, and nothing wrong with that either.
Right.
Right.
For all of us,
So that
I
might
think
be,
that,
why don't we research what the reservation software people are using, Judy, in other towns.
okay,
And ask them
I
what
can do that.
they're using. Yeah.
We were just asked to mention it to you. We heard it a lot, so that's what we're
Sure.
doing. But I know there's the other side of it too, that the people that just really like to just pop in when they can.
Not everybody is computer literate or
Mhm.
choose to use something like that. So
Right.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Gil. That's why I say
And-
you try
and
to
you know-
set it up this way, just don't be militant about it.
Right.
They
Right.
show up and say, well, you don't have an appointment, you got to come back in the afternoon type thing. But just try to really encourage it. That's what I would think we do.
It's
maybe
finding that
call
balance.
before you come,
Right.
Right. But I don't
Type
want
of
people
thing.
to feel like they have to do that either. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it's, I don't know. And, God knows that we've given them so many avenues that we now have the Dropbox out front. Everything's online. We do by mail. So we have a lot of different resources for everybody.
And Cheryl says a lot of people are doing it online now.
Oh yes, they love that.
And I think if we made it a little bit easier to find on that, the only way you can find is if you want to pay online. You know what I mean? If we had I'll look at it with you,
Okay.
Julie. If you had a little spot that say register your car, blah, 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 online or that type of thing, I think it'd be easier.
Well,
Because
if
I
you
had
go
to
to the
poke around
town
for a
clerk,
few minutes.
if you go to the town clerk's page where all those things are, you do have that specific thing. But
Oh, I'm
on the
sure.
front, on the
Yeah.
front page, it's just online payments and it's very confusing, but I don't know that we have a
Exactly.
lot of room.
So,
Well,
We'll look at it.
we could potentially rename that instead of it saying online payments.
Yeah.
online
could almost say,
services.
I was just gonna say the same thing, online services.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's much better.
Because right now you're thinking you haven't got any registration yet. Why would you pay for it? You want to register. your
Right.
car. So
Very good point.
I've had people mention that to me a couple times, and I had to search
Okay.
around too, and I knew we could do it. And I'm like, what?
So,
Yeah, it sounds like we're heading for another hybrid situation here too.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's-
we're not
it's
making
just finding
people
the
do it. A lot of
balance.
people want to do it. So,
yeah, it's
it's
the
finding that
convenience of
balance.
it.
Yeah, it's giving the folks that like to do it and do business that way the opportunity to, and giving other folks who like the in-person contact or in-person face-to-face, they have that option also.
Right.
okay. All right. We've done the COVID thing. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to mention, we've had quite a bit of interest in both properties, I think, at least to sell, for the purchase of the different properties. So that's interesting. So,
Could I ask one more question? I'm sorry. I forgot to ask it when we were talking about. Right now, we are not accepting cash. Do we want to go back to accepting cash, but wait until like May and June, or what's your call on that?
I don't think you need to accept cash anymore, but that's just my opinion.
Do you want to just stay the course then? We'll just do checks and credit debit cards?
It's a whole different.
Unless, if you get somebody, I think if you get somebody that says, I need to pay you in cash, I don't have a check or I don't have a credit card, then take the cash. I think maybe
Right,
it's
well,
one
we
of those,
haven't
you don't
been-
have to be out there and promote that we're accepting cash now, but the opportunity, if someone, that's the only thing they can do.
Right, but right now when COVID happened, we were directed not to do, we weren't taking the cash anymore. Just
Well,
cash because it was dirty.
What I would
Yeah.
do, and plus
Just
you've got the accountability of cash, where you get rid of
Mhm.
cash, you get rid of all that accountability. That's
Yep.
one reason I think it makes it in this situation a little bit better not to have cash at all.
That's entirely up to you guys.
I mean, that's
I
just
mean,
just my thought, because cash, handling and credibility and all that type of things. I don't have any doubt in the world that everything is perfect, but it just totally eliminates the possibility of anyone mishandling cash. That's my thoughts in some ways.
I've been in there a couple of times when I would have rather have done cash, myself personally. So, like you said, we can make it an option, but don't have to advertise it.
Right. You can say on everything, checks or
Preferred.
credit cards.
mhm,
And then
Preferred.
if they don't have check or credit card with them, take the money, I guess.
okay.
Put your
The
gloves
check and
on.
credit cards preferred.
Oh, I don't mind that. It was just part of the process that was first
Sure.
handed down to us. And I'm asking if we're gonna go back to normal you know what I mean? Like, we haven't
If
been
we,
doing it.
if we end up going
That's why I'm
back to
just
normal,
asking.
that doesn't mean that all the cash is all of a sudden clean.
Right.
Oh, well, cash,
Exactly.
all right, let's just put it.
Don't
this way,
let-
cash and- Cash is the dirtiest thing around. We were directed not to take it last March. I'm asking if that directive's being given back or not. That's
I've
all.
seen a lot of places cash or checks, credit cards or checks preferred. I've seen
Yeah.
that in a lot of places right now.
Well, we could do that.
And I think
credit
that's
card,
fair.
Credit card, checks preferred. But if somebody shows up here, and they're paying, I guess my big thing is dog licenses right now. $6.50. People don't want to.
Exactly.
I was gonna say that.
I
was gonna
totally
say that
agree.
too.
Yeah.
So if they want to give us cash, and we telling them
What?
no, it doesn't.
No, I totally agree. Cash, just say checks or credit cards preferred. If they want to pay cash, let them pay.
Okay. That,
That's what I
Maybe
think.
get a little box or whatever, and they can put the cash in there, and then you guys can just set it aside.
You still gotta touch
And
it.
not-
Don't
You gotta touch
wash
it
your
at some
hands
point,
after you
but
count it.
Ultimately,
hand
yes, and especially
sanitizer.
if you have to make change.
but I think
650 and they give you 10.
haven't they determined it doesn't live on stuff right now?
Not for very long. It does.
4
not
hours.
for very
long.
long. Yeah.
And we got hand sanitizer.
then good.
I think
Take
we're
cash.
fine.
I agree. And plus the trouble with the credit card things, we charge a fee. You know,
Well, why? Yes,
We have to.
and-
I know we do, but I mean, that discourages people from using credit cards.
but why is it any different me touching that credit card than me touching their cash? No, I mean,
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally true.
True.
well, I mean, I
Should be
guess it has a,
contactless. It should be contactless credit card processing, but you can't because we don't have a machine that goes outside.
right. I mean, I guess not as many people has touched that credit card,
Right,
but
right.
as cash, because it keeps circulating through, but I just know that the seniors are coming up to register their dogs, and that's only $2.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
it's
an
stupid to
average
make them
dog
run
is
the check. I
$6.50.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this anyways.
Don't let me remind me to register my dogs before I have to pay the extra this year, will you?
We're working on the letters right now as we speak. The reminder letters.
We should do multiple reminders on Facebook too to get that audience that
I
doesn't
posted it there
necessarily
already.
open their mail. Yeah, maybe once a month we should revisit that post.
I'm with you, Scott. I ended up paying extra last year.
I got in under the wire.
I was told twice too.
Me too.
I feel we
It was
can only
totally
go
my
so
fault.
far,
So,
you know.
Yeah.
okay.
right.
I can't, as much as I would love to, I cannot hold everybody's hand all the way. I can only do so much.
You or Cheryl.
Yeah, agreed. What else we talked about? I talked to Judy this morning about, trying to get those detailed reports from the fire department and the police department.
I did send an email
I saw
that
to
email.
both of them. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because whether it's in the report or not, we should have it, just
Mhm.
for
And then,
record keeping wise.
and we'll make sure they're there for next year.
Yeah. And we have, I guess, crew has not had time to look at the building permit thing to see if we had passed that RSA so that we could change fees and so forth. So stay
I
tuned on
haven't.
that one. We're gonna work on that next week or so.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's a lot going on. And I'm gonna work with the water, try to for next Friday to have something all put together for that. I'm gonna call Steve LaFrance and he and I are gonna talk a little bit and try to come up with something. I'll shoot it out to you guys and we can work on it next Friday.
Take our new budget number when you go for 2021.
I will.
Yeah, because I think we're working off from 2020 right now.
My thought was we use the budget number for running the system and take off the debt expense because that really should have been paid off with the surplus from the water department. And then whatever that is left, the water people should be paying for, including the capital reserve. So,
Mhm.
My
That makes
question I
sense.
have is, when we have tap fees, can we make it so that all the tap fees go into the capital reserve? Or is that something that would have to be coordinated at town meeting or in the bar?
Town meeting.
Or can we do it in the budget process each year? Say this year we take in $130,000 from a development for tap fees, which is very possible. Can we, at the budget time, say, okay, all right, we took all this money and that should go into the capital reserve? Or is it something we should do a town meeting saying all tap fees should go into each designated capital reserve, or just as something to think about?
I can tell you that the auditors move it to the surplus. They move that over when they come. However, it's not spendable without going to town meeting.
So in other words, it's staying there in La La Land in the water or sewer department.
Oh yeah,
Fine.
when they come in, even though I'm taking that revenue in through the general fund, when they come in
Yep.
and do their audit, they create journal entries, adjusting journal entries that move it to those funds. So I do know that you definitely can't take it and just put it into a capital reserve, because that's what we were trying to do with the Main Street revitalization, the money that came in for the parks.
Right.
And they stopped us but what you can do, I believe, is the next year say, okay, encumber that, and the next year have a warrant article saying we took in this much money last year, we want to move it to such and such capital reserve,
That makes sense.
once
So,
you know how much it is.
yeah, so we've gotten in there, so we take in 130,000 towards the sewer department. We can say at the town meeting, okay, we took this excess money in from tap fees and we'd like to put it in the capital reserve from the general.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm actually going to make that note in here with the other 2022 warrant articles, and I'll put water tap fee and sewer tap fee article, so we can make sure that they're established to do that.
Right, right. Well, and also doing a lot of some reading on this thing. I follow it all the time for my selfish benefit, all these programs that are coming out. It looks like a lot of this money the state's gonna get is designated for infrastructure like water and sewer for local communities. So I'm just saying this report from Steve Pants might be perfect if we're
It will be.
eligible to get that maybe project paid for with these funds. So I mean,
Because
you
they
know,
like to see stuff like that. They like to see stuff from engineers and stuff that it's already in the works before they approve it.
right. So I'm just saying this could be good timing for us. We might be able to get that paid for or mostly paid for. So
That wouldn't that be wonderful?
we need to grab the
Hmm.
money while they're giving it away. So,
Right.
But that's just a thought as I was doing some reading yesterday. So what
I
else
haven't
do
had
we
a
have?
chance to look at that new thing yet.
Well, there's nothing final in any of this yet. You know, they're just coming up with all the rules and regulations and what's going to happen, where it's going to go, and who can apply and all that type of thing. Nothing set in stone. They're hoping for April 1st to have some guidance. So we'll see.
Sounds like April is when we're going to know a lot more.
Yep.
Mhm. Great.
What else do we have?
That's all I
I
had
know,
for
so-
today.
Maybe he'll lower the social distancing to 3 feet, and then
I
We
mean,
can
it's
I heard
revisit
changing.
something
that.
about that this morning,
Yeah, it's
I-
changing
yeah.
every week.
but for children,
Yeah, we're children. No,
or for
Yes,
children,
you
actually, you start back into full-time. No, you don't qualify anymore, Scott.
no,
oh, wait a
Well-
minute. Don't I get a say?
no, I'm
No.
getting to more. I'm getting more childlike as I get older now. I think that's what it is. God.
Are we all?
Good for you, though.
Yeah, well, they say if you don't become an adult before 60, you don't have to.
That's right.
But yeah, that was it. That was for reopening K through 6 or something like K through 5 with a 3-foot reduction.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. Yeah, I saw
Good.
it.
Good.
Okay.
Are the kids going to be able to get the vaccine, or what's
No.
the age? No,
6.
6 and older?
No, 16 and old. No,
16.
16 and older.
16 and
Oh.
older, yes.
It won't be till at least fall, they said.
And it'll be a different vaccine, won't it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, kind
No.
of like the flu. The flu had one for
Actually,
kids,
yeah, it's
and then-
different. It's not a different vaccine. I don't think it's different dosages.
Right.
Is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, we're in good shape by then. We'll see.
I think we're
Anything
gonna be.
Anything else, guys?
Nope.
I got nothing.
We need to get people out to vote on the 13th.
Yes, you do.
So I think that's important.
Definitely.
Okay, a motion to adjourn then.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Yeah, you guys too.